Gen Z and millennials don't want to work. Is that true or false? Well, you may have heard it said in the media. 2022, nobody wants to work anymore. 2014, nobody wants to work anymore. 2006, nobody wants to work anymore. 1989, nobody wants to work anymore. 1981, nobody wants to work anymore. 1979, nobody wants to work anymore. 1969, 1952, 1940, 1937, 1922, 1916, 1905, 1894. Nobody wants to work anymore. Thanks to Paul Ferry for finding these clips. He's writing this great book. So, what you're actually hearing is employers complaining that nobody wants to work for cheap. But look at the corporate profits compared to employee wages over the past few years. Regardless of what you hear people say, most young people want to work. They're smart, and they'll find a way. And there are some really smart, rich people who have proposed a handful of things that could totally fix income inequality. They're called the Patriotic Millionaires, a group of super rich who are pushing for three principles: a highly progressive tax system, a livable minimum wage, and equal political representation for all citizens. They're actually begging the government to tax them more because even they can see that eventually, if this crazy wealth inequality keeps up, the pitchforks will be coming out. There's your little ray of sunshine. Now, get off my lawn.
So Trump just cut the minimum wage for federal contractors from $17.75 an hour under Biden down to $13.30, and in some cases back to $7.25. That's up to $10,000 a year. Gone. But wait, he tossed out this shiny thing. No taxes on tips, and people cheered. Let me explain the con. First, it's only for certain jobs. You have to be in a federally approved tipped occupation, so not you most likely. Second, it's federal tax only. You still owe state, Medicare, Social Security, so the win is maybe $400 a year if you're lucky. And third, this is the real fun part, to get the perk, you have to report your cash tips. Yeah, they're not giving you a break. They're baiting you into snitching on yourself so they can track your income better. Meanwhile, you just lost real wages. This isn't policy. It's a reverse heist with confetti. Here, we're going to pay you less, but don't worry. You can keep your nickels from table 9. And the wildest part? People cheered. Unreal.
Yesterday, as a collective, we all found out that the minimum wage needs to be $66 today in order to match the buying power of the minimum wage that boomers had in the 1970s. And me and Derek together ruined millions of people's days. We're in it together though, because my day was ruined as well. Thank you, Derek. We all say in unison. But somebody decided to very kindly return the favor and remind us that said boomers who, give us a very hard time about our lattes and avocado toasts and that, we just don't want to work, they are currently living off of Social Security. And who is funding said Social Security? Me and you. And you know what that reminded me of? The fact that not too long ago, they actually let us know that me and you, even though we're funding their Social Security, most likely are not going to be able to get Social Security when we're the boomers' age.
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers with this one, but that's what I do. Only 6% of African Americans make over $100,000 a year. Now, if you were to look at that percentage as it relates to education, so people holding a bachelor's degree or higher, you're looking at 16% of African Americans. If you were to strip away education as a whole and just look at African Americans, those without degrees, you're looking at 2%. You need to go to school. You need to go to school. I don't want to hear none. If you are young and you don't have any skills and you are a African American, you need to go to school. Ignore what everybody talking about. Oh, and y'all be straddled with debt. Women be straddled with debt. You need to go to school. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what the ROI. I heard the ROI is not that great. Yes, it is. I spent over $100,000 on my education. I make over $100,000 a year. What are we talking about here? You could argue me down and, but the interest is eating you whole. Okay, let it eat me whole. I'm not worried about none of them goddamn student loans for real. I make as much money as I make because I went to school. What are we missing here? I had to pay to play because I am an American and I am black. According to this country, I'm black. So guess what? I'm taking my black ass to school. Amen.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anthony and it's always amazing having you. I just popped up to say hi and to thank you for watching my videos and subscribing and commenting. So I'm ensure that you leave a comment. Is the minimum wage in the United States worth anymore? Because I believe that the minimum wage should be able to fund you rent, food, and maybe other basic necessities. I believe so. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section.
I also want to point out the fact that I make $150 an hour. I see someone on SNAP benefits as my equal. We are in the same class. If you are someone that is a working class American that is talking shit on people that are going to lose their SNAP benefits on November 1st, you need to change your perspective. You have had billionaires, the 1%, these people who are literally about to become trillionaires if they aren't already in a matter of months. These people have literally convinced you to be against a homeless person or someone on SNAP benefits, someone that you are closer in income to than you would ever be close in income to the 1%. And if you think a billionaire as a president would protect his bottom line, I'm sorry, but you're mistaken. Health insurance premiums are going to double. I've already been paying over $600 a month for my private health insurance as someone that works for themselves. I have no pre-existing health conditions and I'm a single woman. I literally have nothing wrong with me, yet I'm paying almost $700 a month for my health insurance. And I have an upper hand here. I make 6 figures a year. I work part-time. I can afford this. I don't have student loan debt. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have children. When I say this, I'm not saying it for myself entirely because obviously if we keep paying more and more over time, it will eventually affect me. I am saying this for the people that are already suffering. The people that are already suffering are on both sides of the aisle. I care about you. We care about you. I am willing to make amends. SNAP benefits expire on November 1st. How the heck are people going to feed themselves, especially when prices are already up, I think 5% in 2025 alone? You didn't get cheaper eggs. You didn't get cheaper milk. Everything is more expensive. This billionaire in the White House demolished the East Wing before our eyes. American history. This guy is in office to literally make the 1% richer and the bottom line poorer. Aaron Trump is 18 years old. 30 minutes before Trump made a tweet, he invested $50 million into crypto. Within 24 hours, he walked away with $200 million. And because crypto isn't regulated the same way the stock market is, it's not considered insider trading, even though that's literally what it is, but it's just not technically illegal. He is protecting Epstein himself and every other pedo on the planet that is guilty of being in these files. I just don't know what to say other than we have to come together. We have to stop the division. We have to be willing to work together because we are on the same side. It is not the GOP versus trans people. It's not teachers are turning your kids gay. They're not doing sexual changes at school. You know what they are doing? They are literally bankrupting Americans before our eyes. People who are freezing on the sides of the roads this winter are going to be the people that we could have protected. Government is going to be shut down for the rest of 2025. I'm calling it. And I'm not even trying to be alarmist here. I'm just trying to be realistic. Division is what makes moments in history have that turning point of no return. I know it's not the same thing, but something that my fiance taught me early on when we were dating was whenever we experience some sort of barrier or problem between the two of us, or maybe an external factor that then led us to then having some sort of heated conversation. I grew up in a household where it wasn't, hey, let's talk and resolve this problem. Let's be team players here. We're on the same team. My mom dealt with my dad. He was an alcoholic. So that dynamic was not natural in our household. I never witnessed that. But something that my fiance taught me early on was when we would argue argue, I would be on the opposing side. Like I would purposely remove myself from him and then be on the opposing side. Like, hey, we're going against each other. And he told me, hey, we need to be on the same team, because if we're not in the same team here, we're not going to get to the outcome that we're looking for. And this stands true today. I don't care what you feel, what you think. If you call yourself a patriot, if you say you are willing to protect the Constitution, if you say you care about others, it is time to make amends. We are stronger together.
A global company based in Malta just decided to stop hiring Americans. Not because of visas, not because of politics, because Americans cost too much, but not in the way you think. The average salary in the US is higher than many European countries, but after taxes, healthcare, education costs, Americans have less money to spend, a lot less. Here's how it breaks down. The US tax rate is between 10 and 37%. Malta's tax rate is between 0 and 35%, pretty similar. Healthcare in the US costs an average of $14,570 per person per year. In Malta, that cost is 0. It's covered by taxes, a lower tax rate than the US under Trump. A typical degree in the US, $80,000. In Malta, that cost is 0, covered by taxes, a lower tax rate than the US under Trump. So a Maltese company can pay workers $23,000 less than their American counterpart, and the guy in Malta still has more spending money. This isn't about capitalism versus socialism. It's about how different cultures structure their economies. The US prioritizes responsibility. Europe builds a safety net. Will Americans ever change? Probably not. This system is part of the American culture. The cultural shift takes generations. Would you trade higher pay for lower expenses and more money in your pocket?
What's up, America? Looks like the working class here in the United States is finally starting to break. So I've been warning people that the working class can no longer take it for about 5 or 6 years. I think we finally reached that point. Confidence is starting to slip, and approximately 90% of people that have been polled say they have no expectations to grow financially at any point in their life now. These are people that are working class adults. They have such low confidence in economic gain that they're simply just checking out, going to work, barely doing what they have to do, not making gains to improve either, doing the same daily grind without trying harder to make any improvements in their lives financially, just kind of stagnating, kind of accepting where they're at in their position and not wanting to move forward because it's too much effort. That's the consensus among people under 40 working now. That 40 hours a week doesn't pay the bills, the money's not worth enough, the wages aren't high enough, the benefits don't cover it because they're dwindling, and prices are rising so high people are basically just checking out, saying, what's the point of working harder? I'm already working at maximum capacity, and if I work harder, my entire life will be work and sleep only. Maybe a few minutes here or there for a meal, and that's it. So frankly speaking, the youth of America is starting to just say, no, fuck this shit, I'm done. And frankly speaking, I don't blame them at all. Unstoppable price gouging has been going for now 5 full years unchecked. Shrinkflation is still rearing its ugly head. You're getting less and less for more and more money. Anybody with a brain can see what's happening. You're getting less product for more money. You're getting less house for more money, less car for more money, paying insurance companies that won't even cover you. Utility costs creeping up to nearly double for the same shit you had a couple of years ago. I understand the rich want their money, but it's unsustainable. You have too goddamn much money. You have to reinvest in the United States. You can't keep taking from everybody. We're all tapped out. You have enough, you rich fucks! The burden on the American people is now too much to survive. It's simply too much. You cannot ask any more out of these people. They are tapped out. We're at 100% capacity. Doing any more as far as profiteering will degrade the country irrevocably. But you're gonna fucking try, aren't you? People don't have anything and they're working so hard for it. You have to give people a goddamn break here in America once in a while. People have to have disposable income to buy shit, go on vacation, something. Not just working to drum profit for a rich person. We're fucking done!
Y'all not understand how fucked up America gotta be for you to work hard and still have no fucking where to go? It's just like, oh my gosh, when is it all going to end? Like, y'all, it's so bad to the point where even though you work, you more than likely can't even eat every day. Not even 3 times a day. Me, none. Yet they expect us to keep working with a smile on our face. Fuck all of that. I be seeing why people don't fucking want to work. They pay us a little bit of money, but make everything fucking expensive. I'll be damned if I'm putting my life on the line for $14, $15. And then the whole time, your ass can get hurt or die at the fucking job you're at. So now you done fucking wasted your whole life being a hard worker to a company that don't give a fuck about what you got going on. Don't give a fuck that you don't have nowhere to go. Just don't give a good goddamn. And certain people will never understand the frustration. You guys will never understand unless you're going through it. There is no reason why hard workers can't afford to eat, can't afford to live, can't afford to pay rent. It is so much. And I just wanted to let everybody out there know, okay? If you are deciding to bring your ass to America, hold on, y'all. Stay the fuck over there. Do not come over here. Please. I beg of you. This shit sucks. All prayers to all my Americans, all my USA motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, my cousins, all that. We gotta figure something out, because this ain't gonna work for me.
So what is the essence of working if you can't afford basic necessities? What's the essence? You know, because when growing up, you are told when you go to school, maybe get some good grades and get some work, you know, so that you can afford a house, you know, you can afford a family, you know. That's the American dream, you know. But I believe the American dream is not worth it anymore, you know. People are just surviving in this country, you know. That's my word. So what's your thoughts about all of this? Because if there is a huge this inflation thing, I believe that workers' salary should also be able to increase. And the issue of Trump, you know, lowering the minimum wage, you know, it's not good. It's not cool.
Do not judge me. I did not know. I'm not trying to sound insensitive. I hope this does not come off as stupid. Reserve your judgment. I'm in a state of shock. Okay. So I'm writing my employee handbook for my spa. I've gotten to the employee benefits portion, which is very exciting for me. I'm attempting to make sure that what I put in the benefits aligns with employee work, you know, rights. So I'm looking up labor laws. So in the video, they're saying, you know, consult with their attorney if you have this, if you have that. They're talking to employees about their rights. They say ultimately visit the Department of Labor website. I'm like, I can't even get my words out. They have on the website is a minimum wage, right? I don't know what the freaking minimum wage is. Every state is different. So in my handbook, I want to give people wages even if they're not at work. I want to be able to, like, if you need a mental health day, I would like for you to still categorize that as a mental health day. It's capped annually, so you can't abuse it, but you can still expect to get wages, because I want to reward people for taking care of themselves. Anyway, so I'm looking what is legal, what is not legal, what can I say, so on and so forth. I go to the website, I look up the state list for minimum wage, and my jaw hit the ground. And you might say, Mariah, where have you been, girl? Well, for 16 years, I've been in the Air Force, okay? So I don't know. I really don't. I didn't know. Why is the minimum wage in Alabama, Georgia, and I'm pretty sure Wyoming $5? $5. $5? So I went to Cheesecake Factory last night. The carrot cake, which is one of my favorite desserts, is $10. You mean to tell me to afford one piece of carrot cake from Cheesecake Factory, somebody has to work 2 hours of their lives? 2 hours of someone's life is barely worth the price of a piece of carrot cake? A slice, not even the whole cake, just a slice. Then I saw, well, the minimum wage across America is $7. $7. I think in some, like Hawaii is like 14, but it's expensive to live there. Washington's like, I don't know, it's higher. Vermont is higher. But these are more expensive areas, pockets of our society to live in. So that would make sense that it's, once you look at the cost of living in comparison to the minimum wage, even if the minimum wage is $14, $16, it's still poverty line. But to know that this is on purpose is what's getting me. That's the part that really does it for me, because this is done on purpose. They want to make sure you can barely afford food. And because I said to myself, who survives off of this? And then I realized survival's not the point. The point is sub-survival. The point is we need you to be so dependent. You can't do shit. At least not in a place that you own for yourself. And then I thought, people have kids. People have parents that they might be supporting. They have lives, they have children, they have needs. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna make sure that we do better. But I am taken aback, so much so. This has disrupted like the last 20 minutes of my workday, of my productivity, because I literally cannot wrap my mind around whose job is that? Who is that for? Who is that for? Because it can't be an adult with responsibilities and debt from trying to go to college and better themselves. Could not possibly. What the hell is going on?
Is anyone else experiencing this kind of like disconnect and just general disinterest in the job search? I just feel like I don't care anymore, and it's so bad, like, because I graduated in 2023, so I did work a little bit in my field. I did have a job in accounting for a little bit. Well, right now I'm still waiting tables. My parents are just really getting on me because they're like, Olivia, you need to act like you're unemployed, like you're getting comfortable with your job. And it's like, no, I'm not getting comfortable. Like in fact, I want to get out of serving. Like, it's great for what it is, but you know, it's ultimately not what I want to do. And I do want to get out, but this other life, this like 9-to-5 life, doesn't seem very attractive to me anymore. And I just feel really disillusioned with the whole corporate life because, you know, for all the shit that you guys go through, at the very least, you could have job security, but you don't. Like, I'm really realizing that there's no such thing as job security. People used to tell me, oh, get a government job. Y'all see what's happening with the federal jobs? Like, their whole department's being laid off out of nowhere, no notice, no nothing. You would think that with everything that y'all go through and how much time and energy you pour into these jobs that they would treat you better, and they don't. I have to move back in with my parents, so it's just something I'm thinking about because I know they're going to be on my ass about the job search and things like that. And it's not even that I'm lazy, it's just that I don't want to fight for something I don't actually want. It just doesn't seem worth it. Not only do we not have the same level of job security that our parents and our grandparents had, but we also can't afford anything. Even if we do have these jobs, even if we do have this job security, a lot of people can't even afford to pay their rent. At least back then, you guys could pay your rent. You know, you could pay your rent, you can buy your car, you could buy houses, you could afford to eat, you could afford to have fun. We don't have that same reality. The way prices have gone up in comparison to the way wages and salaries have stayed stagnant is insane, and nobody's talking about it. We don't have the same reality that our parents and grandparents did, and they don't want to acknowledge that. What we're fighting for is not the same thing that you guys were experiencing. So it's like, I'm fighting so hard to get some 9-to-5 that's going to pay me barely enough to rent a room in a house and live in fear every day of being laid off on a random Tuesday. And then in the midst of that, I don't even know if I can put food on the table, or if I can put food on the table, I don't know if I can put gas in my car. And if I can put gas in my car, I don't know if I can have fun because I need to put food on the table and gas in my car. Our money is not going as far as it used to go. And I feel like we're getting gaslit about that. Like, home prices, tuition prices, like the way everything has gone up and they're paying us the same amount of money is insane. So excuse me if I have no interest in fighting for my life in corporate America. I'm sorry.
So thank you everyone for watching this video to the end, and ensure that you leave a comment so we can engage in dialogue. So my name is Anthony, and in this channel we always talk about politics and general issues that affect Americans in general. So my word is in other countries around the world, if some of you have traveled a lot, I know that people go to work and they are able to afford their basic needs. They are able to rent. They are able to afford food, groceries, whatever, without even the need of government assistance, the SNAP, whatever. In other countries, government doesn't help people in such a way that I see people getting help here in the United States. And I'm not blaming those who get help. Good at them. So my issue is, why are people working and still relying on government for help? Why? Mm. I believe that if you're working, I believe you should be able to afford everything. Take your kids to a good school, generally afford everything. But in this country, I believe it's said that the poor American cannot rise. It's not possible for you to rise. Let me give you an example. When I'm purchasing, when I'm purchasing my goods, my shoes, my clothes, my hat, my glasses, my whatever, I'm paying a damn high price, because in the US, you are a consumer economy, right? When I'm purchasing at a better price, the billionaires, the corporates, they are making a lot of money, right? You can see in their earnings, which they release every year. So when I'm paying these damn high prices for these goods, I'm expecting that the workers in the US who are producing these goods, or who are providing me services for these goods, their salaries are increasing. But that doesn't happen in the United States anymore. What happens is that when these corporations make a lot of money, they do stock buybacks. They, instead of using this money to improve the welfare of their workers or the welfare of the people in the communities which they reside, maybe pay their fair share in terms of taxes. What I mean. So I believe that even the issue of government borrowing, it's very massive. The issue of government borrowing, it's very massive. And according to Milton Friedman, when government prints a lot of money, this causes a lot of inflation. And when there is increased inflation and our salaries are not increasing, that's not good. So many Gen Zs, many millennials, they don't want to work. There's no motivation of working because damn, the salary is not enough. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be waiting, and I'll be commenting, and I'll be replying. So what I usually say is until the next time, take a walk outside, touch some grass, get a girl, get a man, what I mean. Enjoy some life because it's not worth it staying in the house. So what I usually say, watch blue, talk blue, listen blue, vote blue. Until the next video, thank you for your attention to this matter.